One, I'm very happy to do another presentation regarding some bullet points for UPSC exam from 11th NCERT Geography. Unit 1, India Location. The mainland of India extends from Kashmir in the north to Kanyakumari in the south and Arunachal Pradesh in the east to Gujarat in the west. India's territorial limit further extends towards the sea up to 21.9 km from the coast. Otherwise, it is called as 12 nautical miles. About the size, India is the seventh largest country in the world. It covers 2.4% of world total land surface. The other six countries bigger than India are Russia, Canada, US, China, Brazil and Australia. Peninsular part of India extends towards the Indian Ocean. This has provided the country with a coastline of 6,100 km in the mainland and 7,517 km in the entire geographical coast of the mainland, plus the island groups Andaman and Nicobar located in the Bay of Bengal and the Lakshadweep in the Arabian Sea. Thus, India as a country is a physically diverse land providing occurrence of varied resources. Indian Standard Time. After independence in 1947, the Indian government established IST as the official time for the whole country, although Kolkata and Mumbai retained their own local time, known as Calcutta time and Bombay time, until 1948 and 55. Indian Standard Time is the time observed throughout India and Sri Lanka with a time offset of UTC or GMT plus 5 hours 30 minutes. India does not observe daylight saving time or other seasonal adjustments. In military and aviation time, IST is designated with the letter E star, that is echo star. There is a general understanding among the countries of the world to select the standard meridian in multiples of 7 degree 30 of longitude. The central observatory was moved from Chennai to a location at Sankarghar Fort, Allahabad district, so that it would be as close to UTC, that is 5:30, as possible latitude, longitude, and time. And this is the general calculation for the time. Unit 2, Physiography of India. Based on these macro variations, India can be divided into the following physiographic designs: the northern and northeastern mountains, the northern plain, the peninsular plateau, the Indian desert, the coastal plains, the islands. The northern and northeastern mountains. The north and northeastern mountains consist of the Himalayas and the northeastern hills. These northern and northeastern mountains are young, weak, and flexible in their geographical structure, unlike the rigid and stable peninsular block. Consequently, they are still subjected to the interplay of exogenic and endogenic forces. Do you know? Millions of years ago, the Indian plate was to the south of the equator. It was much larger in size, and the Australian plate was a part of it. Over the million of years, this plate broke into many parts, and the Australian plate moved towards the southeastern direction, and the Indian plate to the north, and which forms the folds like Himalayas. These mountains are tectonic in origin, dissected by fast flowing rivers, which are in their youthful stage. Various landforms like gorges, V shaped valleys, rapids, waterfalls, etc., are indicative of the stage. These can be divided into the following subdivisions: Kashmir or northwestern Himalayas, Himachal and Uttaranchal Himalayas, Darjeeling and Sikkim Himalayas, Arunachal Himalayas, eastern hills and mountains. Kashmir or northwestern Himalayas. That is, the northeastern part of the Kashmir Himalayas is a cold desert, which lies between the Greater Himalayas and the Karakoram ranges. Between the Himalayas and the Pir Panjal range, the famous Dhar Lake is present. Important glaciers such as Baltoro and Siachen are also from this region. The Kashmir Himalayas are also famous for Kareva formations, which are useful for the cultivation of saffron, a local variety of saffron. The Himalayan Uttarakhand Himalayas. This part lies approximately between the Ravi in the west and the Kali, a tributary of Gargara in the east. The northernmost part of the Himachal Himalayas is an extension of the Ladakh cold desert. This Himalayan range is called Lesser Himalayas. These Lesser Himalayas are having the altitude between 1000 to 2000 meter. These are specially attracted to British colonial administration. Important hill stations in this region are Dharmashala, Mussoorie, Shimla, Kawosani. This region is also very famous for dun formation. Dehradun. Dehradun is the largest dun of these all done in these regions. Then Darjeeling and Sikkim Himalayas. They are flanked by Nepal Himalayas in the west and Bhutan Himalayas in the east. It is relatively small but is a most significant part of the Himalayas. It is a region of high mountain peaks like Kanchenjunga, that is Kanchenjuri, and deep valleys. The British, taking advantage of the physical conditions such as moderate slope, thick soil cover with high organic content, well distributed rainfall throughout the year, and mild winters, introduced tea plantations in these regions. Then, Arunachal Himalayas. These extend from the east of the Bhutan Himalayas up to the Dipu Pass in the east. These ranges are dissected by fast flowing rivers from the north to the south, forming deep gorges. Brahmaputra flows through a deep gorge after crossing Namcha Bharwa, the eastern hills, and the mountains, general alignment from the north to the south direction. In the north, they are known as Patkai Bham, Naga Hills, the Manipur in the south as Mizo or Lusai Hills. Most of these ranges are separated from each other by numerous small rivers. The Barak is an important river in Manipur and Mizoram. The physiography of Manipur is unique by the presence of a large lake known as Loktak lake at the center, surrounded by mountains from all sides. These are low hills inhabited by numerous tribal groups practicing jhum cultivation. Then the northern plain. The northern plains are formed by the alluvial deposits brought by the rivers, the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra. These plains extend approximately 3,200 km from the east to the west. The average width of these plains varies between 150 to 300 km. The maximum depth of alluvium deposits varies between 1000 to 2000 meters. These divided into three major zones: the Bhabar, the Tharai, and the alluvial plains. Bhabar. Bhabar is a narrow belt ranging between 8 to 10 km parallel to the Shivalik foothills at the breakup of the slope. As a result of this, the streams and rivers coming from the mountains deposit heavy materials of rocks and boulders and at times disappear in the zone. Tarai. South of the Bharbar is the Tarai belt with an approximate width of 10 to 20 km where most of the streams and rivers re-emerge without having any properly demarcated channel, thereby creating marshy and swampy conditions known as the Tarai. This has a luxurious growth of natural vegetation and houses a varied wildlife. Then, alluvial. The south of Tarai is a belt consisting of fold and new alluvial deposits known as the Bhangar and Khadar respectively. These plains have characteristic features of mature stage of fluvial erosional and depositional landforms such as sandbars, meanders, oxbow lakes, and braided channels. The Brahmaputra plains are known for their riverine islands and sandbars. Most of these areas are subjected to periodic floods and shifting river courses, forming braided streams, and the mouths of these mighty rivers also form some of the largest deltas of the world, for example, the famous Sundarbans Delta. The Peninsular Plateau. Rising from the height of 150 meter above the river plains up to an elevation of 600 to 900 meter is the irregular triangle known as the Peninsular Plateau. That is Delhi Ridge in the northwest, extension of Aravallis, then the Rajmahal Hills in the east, Giraj in the west, and Cardamom Hills in the south constitute the outer extent of the peninsular plateau. However, an extension of this is also seen in the northeast in the form of Shillong and Garbi Anglong Plateau. The peninsular India is made up of a series of patland plateaus such as Hazaribagh Plateau, the Palmar Plateau, the Ranchi Plateau, the Malwa Plateau, the Coimbatore Plateau, and Karnataka Plateau, etc. This is one of the oldest and the most stable landmass of India on the basis of the prominent relief features. The Peninsular Plateau can be divided into three broad groups: the Deccan Plateau, the Central Highlands, and the Northeastern Plateau. The Deccan Plateau. This is bordered by the Western Ghats in the west, Eastern Ghats in the east, and the Satpura. Western Ghats are locally known by different names such as Sahyadri in Maharashtra, Nilgiri Hills in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, and Anaimalai Hills and Cardamom Hills in Kerala. The Central Highlands, next one, they are bounded up to the west by the Aravalli Range. The Satpura Range is formed by a series of scarped plateaus on the south, generally at an elevation varying between 600 to 900 meter above the mean sea level. Then the Northeastern Plateau. In fact, it is an extension of the main peninsular plateau. It is believed that due to the force exerted by the northeastward movement of the Indian plate at the time of the Himalayan origin. We shall see about the Indian desert. The Thar Desert, also known as the Great Indian Desert, is a large arid region in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent that forms a natural boundary between India and Pakistan. It is the world's 17th largest desert and the world's 9th largest subtropical desert. In India, it covers about 320,000 kilometers square, of which 90% is in Rajasthan and extends into Gujarat, Punjab, and Haryana. This region receives low rainfall below 150 mm per year, hence it has arid climate with low vegetation cover. The Luni River is the only river integrated into the desert. Rainfall is limited to 100 to 500 mm per year, mostly falling from July to September. Then, the approximate age of the wood fossils is estimated to be 180 million years. The coastal plains. Coastal India spans from the southwest Indian coastline along the Arabian Sea, form the coastline of the Gulf of Kutch in its westernmost corner, and stretches across the further down through Cape Comorin in the south India with coastline along the Indian Ocean, and through the Kolamandalam coastline on the easternmost corner of shoreline near the Sundarbans in coastal East India. It is broadly divided into two categories. The first one is the western coastal plains and the next the eastern coastal plains. First we'll see about the western coastal plains. The western coastal plains are an example of submerged coastal plain. It is believed that the city of Dwarka, which was once a part of the Indian mainland situated along the west coast, is submerged underwater. Because of this submergence, it is a narrow belt and provides natural conditions for the development of ports and harbors. Mangalore, Cochin, etc. are some of the important natural ports located along the west coast. As compared to the western coastal plain, the eastern coastal plain is broader and is an example of the emergent coast. They are well developed deltas here, formed by the rivers flowing eastward into the Bay of Bengal, the Godavari, the Krishna, and the Kaveri. Because of its emergent nature, the continental shelf extends up to 500 km into the sea, which makes it difficult for the development of good ports and harbors. Finally, we'll see about the islands. The island. There are two major island groups in India, one in the Bay of Bengal and the other in the Arabian Sea. Bay of Bengal Island group is divided into two broad categories, the Andaman in the north and Nicobar in the south. They are separated by a water body which is called the 10-degree channel. It is believed that these islands are an elevated portion of submarine mountains. Some important mountain peaks in Andaman and Nicobar Islands are Saddle Peak, that is North Andaman 738 meter, then Mount Diavolo, Middle Andaman, that is 515 meter. Then the islands of the Arabian Sea is Lakshadweep and Minicoy. These islands are located at a distance of 280 km to 480 km of the Kerala coast. The entire island group is built of coral deposits. There are approximately 36 islands, of which 11 are inhabited. Minicoy is the largest island with an area of 453 square kilometer. The entire group of islands is broadly divided by the 11th degree channel, north of which is the Amini Island and to the south of the Canaro Island.